Welcome back to another episode of Raspberry Lemonade. We have another special guest, as always. We only bring special guests onto the show. We got Chris Medina on the show. How you doing today, man?
Doing great, brother, man. Really appreciate you having me on Raspberry Lemonade. So thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming down all the way from Montebello.
Montebello, California.
Montebello represent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Let's jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about what you do and a little more about yourself for the audience here that doesn't know you yet.
So I have a couple businesses. My main business is selling hearing aids. So I started that.
What? I'm just kidding.
See, I hear you. No, a lot of people get me with that one. But I started this business 10 years ago in 2015. So I help hearing impaired patients with hearing aids. I test them, I fit them with hearing aids, and provide aftercare and counseling with their hearing aids. So that's my main business right now. I've been doing that. It's going to be 10 years on March 2025.
Oh, wow.
10 years, man. Yeah, it's been going good.
Dude, you look young. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 32.
No way.
So I started this like 22, 23 years old. I started.
You were a kid.
Pretty young. Yeah, I mean, I guess. And then my second business, I have a real estate company. So it's called El Flipero, LLC.
I like that.
You like the name? El Flipero. I was like, it's funny. Who cares?
Very
Just do it.
Spanglish.
Just do it. Spanglish, El Flipero. So basically, we do real estate projects. That could be house flips, apartments. Right now, I actually bought 40 acres of land in Tonopah, Arizona.
Wow.
So we're going to actually subdivide those and do seller financing. So we kind of just like split up the land, maybe clean it up a little bit, and then sell it to whoever wants to buy a piece of land. So that's going to be like 1 acre parcels that we're going to be doing.
Very dope.
Cool.
What are they going to be going for, if you don't mind me asking?
Those anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 an acre.
Let me call my wife real quick.
There you go. You're looking for some land?
Maybe, man. We'll see.
Yes. Tonopah, Arizona is pretty nice. It's starting to blow up, but it's a very small town, very few people. It's mostly ranch.
Question. How far is the nearest Trader Joe's and Chick-fil-A?
Oh, damn. Yeah, it hasn't got to that point yet.
Okay, those are very huge selling points for my wife. So.
That's still like a good 20, 30-minute drive from the house.
Too bad.
So not too crazy,
Yeah.
but it's not quite there. Of course, you have those little mom-and-pop supermarkets in the area. So, I mean, you always want to help out your business, your small business owners anyways.
Absolutely.
So. Cool. And then my third business, which I'm super excited about, is Making Feria.
Hey.
Making Feria. I brought the shirt today. So Making Feria, we also have a podcast. So one day we'll get you on there for sure, brother.
I'd love to, yeah.
So that's the podcast. I do mentorship for business owners. We do social media content creation and social media ad marketing management.
Very nice.
And then we're slowly just adding a bunch of different tools for entrepreneurs to scale their business quickly and efficiently. I always think about, if I knew everything that I know now 10 years ago, I would have blew up like in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's there. I'm just offering the tools for entrepreneurs to scale quickly and efficiently.
I like that.
We're going to be soon adding AI products, services to our panel of services.
like GPT bots and stuff, or?
Yeah, so I met this guy where it's like you sit down like this, maybe like in a studio, you record your face, you move side to side, yada, yada, and then you can make that AI video say whatever you want it to say.
Like duplicate yourself.
Dude,
I've been trying to find a client who'd be willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why people are afraid of,
Yeah.
Essentially cloning themselves. I should just do it myself. What do you
do
think?
it. So like this would be perfect for those business owners that are afraid of the camera. They don't want to do it. They just do it, and then you just tell the AI what to do, and it'll do the ad. It'll do content for you, and it'll just be automated. So it's crazy where AI is going. So I think about even my mom. She has a waxing business, and I tell her let's make videos. It's like, oh, I'm too shy and this. I'm like, all right, let's just record your face side to side, a little nice background, and
a couple facial expressions, and we're good.
And that's it. The AI will do it. Oh, it's crazy.
That's insane, man. Okay, so let's get into now getting to know you a little more personally. Something we love doing on this show. we get very personal.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about younger Chris, like little Chris. I'm talking like whenever you have your first memory till, I don't know, like teenage, years.
Okay.
What was Chris like?
So I grew up in the city of Echo Park here in LA.
Hey,
Echo
nice.
Park. So I went to school there, Logan Elementary. I was brought up by my mom. She was a single mother. And, just like every other kid, we always want those toys, the fancy toys, the gadgets, this and that, right?
The Power Rangers.
The Game Boy back then when it came out. But yeah, my mom, she was a licensed esthetician, so she worked, but we pretty much lived paycheck to paycheck. We weren't like super poor or struggling, but we never can have the fancy toys and stuff that all these other kids had. So yeah, that kind of hurt coming up, right? Like I wanted this, I wanted that, I could never have it. So let's fast forward to, I don't know, high school. So I think that's where my entrepreneurial journey started. So I was in 9th grade. I went to John Marshall High School, and I saw this kid. He was selling Gatorades out of his backpack. So I was
we all
like,
had that one kid.
Yeah, there was some kids selling candy, selling McDonald's McMuffins, just up in the ante, up in the price, right?
Dude, okay, so real quick, I don't want you to lose
Go
your thought.
Go ahead, no worries.
But that triggered a memory. I hadn't thought about this in forever. There was this kid that I think it was like, let's just say every Friday. I forget what day of the week it was. But let's just say it was every Friday. Like clockwork, I knew that like on the corner of such building and such building, he was going to have a backpack full of the chicken sandwiches from Carl's Jr. Did you ever have those?
Yeah.
Dude, like the spicy chickens.
Oh, yeah.
And he would get them for like $1 and he would flip them for like $2. And I was like, dude, that's genius. So
yeah. Supply and demand, right?
Absolutely.
Like if you wanted it at school, right on the spot, $2. There you go. Bam.
Convenience factor. So what about this guy that was selling
so
Gatorade?
So we would always get to third period, PE, and I would just see this guy sell out like immediately. Like we just got straight into the locker room, open the backpack, everybody would rush him, pay him the $1 for the Gatorade, and he would sell out in like less than 5 minutes.
That's insane.
So I was just like, man, there's opportunity there. There's a market for that product. I didn't think of it like that back then, right? But now I'm like,
but yeah,
there's opportunity, right? So I was like, screw it. I was just telling my mom, like, you know what? Let's just go to Costco, get that 48 pack of Gatorades, and I'm gonna start selling them myself. So I used to just pack them in the freezer the day before, and then in the morning, take them out, put them in my I used to have a Hummer backpack. So it was one of those big jumbo multi-pocket backpacks, and I used to stack it. I used to put like 20, 30 Gatorades in there every day.
Dang. Every day?
Every day. So every day I would cash out at least 30, 50, like $30, let's just say. It's not a lot, but back then that was pretty good. At least money for, to go to McDonald's, get, buy whatever food I wanted, and maybe a few things here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I used to pack them, go to school, and then by third period they become like some slushy Gatorade, and then I would sell out too. That guy would sell out, and then I would sell out. So it was good. The market was good.
There was enough market share to go around.
Yeah. So that's when I first got a taste of sales. And then little by little, I discovered Craigslist, and I started to just sell stuff around the house. I was like, Mom, do you need this? Little like routers or something of value. And I would be like, do you need this? Nope. I would just go on Craigslist and I would just post it. And then I moved on to, I found this spot that would like sell pallets of home theaters. So I used to buy like home theaters, like that people would return to stores and stuff. So I'd buy like 30 home theaters at a time. So I did my research. I was like, okay, I could sell these for like $300. I would get them for like $100 a piece. And I would buy like 30 home theaters and one shot, like a big pallet. And then I would list them on Craigslist too.
Dang, so, dude. This was all in high school?
This was, pretty much like in high school at time.
Wow, bro.
And
I wish I was at your level at that age.
Yeah, I was like 15, 16. So I was already like, I was hustling, man, because I needed money. I wanted money. I needed to make some feria.
There you go.
So, So then, that's pretty much how I got started in sales. Then my dad introduced me to Rich Dad Poor Dad, the book by Robert Kiyosaki.
Ooh.
So that book just kind of opened up my mind to, how everything works. You got your employee, the cash flow quadrant. You got the employees, self-employed, big business, investors.
Yeah.
So,
real quick, if I may.
Sure.
Was your dad, like, did he have his own business as well? Like, where's that connection? Like, he just like, hey, this book is cool here.
Yeah, my
Where
dad
did that
was.
come from?
Yeah. So my dad, he's always been an entrepreneur too.
Mm.
So he started by flipping cars.
Okay.
So he would go to the auctions and buy cars, fix them, and sell them.
Yeah.
So he started flipping cars, and then eventually he moved to flipping houses. So he got into the real estate.
I see.
So now, he got into wholesaling. Do you know what wholesaling is?
Of course, yes.
So wholesaling back then, I mean, nobody knew about it. So he was just cashing out, like, acquiring properties from sellers and then doing nothing to them and just selling them to investors or people who are buying cash for their homes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what he did. He's still doing it today. So he's been doing that for a good 20 years or so.
Nice. Is he part of El Flipero LLC or no?
So he helps me with a few projects. He has his own LLC, got my own LLC, so I'll do my own projects. But he'll help me. He'll help me. Sometimes he'll find a good house or property and tell me, hey, you should buy this one. Cool, buy it, fix it, flip it, sell it.
Nice.
If it's a keeper, like some apartments, maybe I'll keep them for a while, have a few apartments. And we just recently, the house flipping market right now is kind of like shaky.
Yeah.
Because the interest rates, people don't want to sell, people don't want to buy, because obviously it doesn't make sense, right? Because if you have a house that you're paying a mortgage and your interest is like, what, 2% or cheaper than what it is now, why would you sell it and buy something more expensive with a higher interest rate? So
yeah,
right now the house market can be kind of a little shaky.
It's a little hard to navigate, I hear. One of our clients is a real estate investor.
Yeah.
And he's definitely shifting more onto the wholesale side right now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously now, because he already has the experience of flipping, if a deal has enough spread, like, it's coming through his pipeline anyway. So he's able to decide, like, okay, maybe I can wholesale this one, or maybe I'll hold on to this one and, flip it, or go ahead and buy it and just outright hold on to it,
Correct.
Fix and don't flip, but hold on.
Correct.
Hold, as opposed to, so.
Correct. Yeah. So there's so many things you could do in real estate. So, yeah. So my dad gets a bunch of properties. He's been in the business for 20 years. So it's like you said, we figure out what we're going to do with each property. So we funnel it, right? So it comes in. If there's enough spread, we could just wholesale it. Wholesaling is basically we put it under contract and we find somebody else that wants to flip it or somebody that wants to just buy it cash. So we'll try to do that within the first month. Now, if we close on the deal and we weren't able to wholesale it, then we'll flip it. And then eventually we'll decide if we want to sell it or keep it, or there's so many things you can do. You can do Airbnb, rent it out. Just depends what you want to do with it.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And depending on the situation too, obviously market shift and all that, that's an aspect I've seen. I haven't done it firsthand, but again, being around people like yourself or this client specifically, he'll open up to us sometimes like I have this property and like I think I'm gonna do this because of XYZ. Yeah. So it's interesting to see. That's it seems like a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Because it's a property, it's like it has a lot of value. But even at a smaller scale, I think it all comes down to being. I think I heard this morning on Alex Hormozi podcast. What did you say? It's about being resourceful, not having necessarily the resources. So you have the experience now, but even if let's say you were just starting out, what would you advise someone to do?
For as far as like real estate?
Yeah,
you just got to go through the journey. I mean, you're just going to have to try it because everyone's going to probably make some mistakes along the road. You might lose some money, but just take it as a lesson, right? Because I haven't made profit on all the projects I've done. I've lost $8,000, $10,000 here and there, but I learned and I know not to make those same mistakes, right?
Exactly.
Because even like you said, when you find a property, you need to have enough spread, right? 100K, 200K. you need to take into consideration how long you're going to keep it. Are you going to be making payments on that hard money loan? The money that it takes to fix the property? How long are you think it's going to stay on the market for? Then the realtor fees, and then stuff that you just like things that just pop out of nowhere. So you need to learn and make sure that you have all your numbers correct.
Absolutely. Is that something that you do right now? Mentor people?
Yeah, so we do offer mentorship through Making Feria. And that's just general business advice. So it could be either brick and mortar. I could give a little advice on real estate. So, yeah, we do.
All right. Well, you heard it, folks. Go check out Making Feria.
Yeah, definitely.
Join.
So should we jump back on the story? Or
yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, so I was doing all of that
Went
stuff.
a little bit of a tangent there.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good stuff. It's good value. But, yeah, then so fast forward to the age of 19, I had already dropped out. I dropped out of high school at 16 because I was already doing all these things. I was selling, and then I started selling all this. And high school felt like a waste of time for me. Like, I just went there, and I felt like I was in prison. So I was like, I'm making all this money. I'm already in sales. Like, I can already generate, like, on my own. Like, I have no use for algebra, history, and all this other stuff. So I dropped out at 16. I did end up getting my GED, like, at 17. So, I was just like, just in case, I'm just going to take the test. And I just studied real quick, like a month. I went to take the exam, and I passed it. So I got my GED. But then I got, a little comfortable, and I started partying, this and that. And then at 19, my daughter comes along. So, so I have two kids. Yeah, young dad.
Dang, dude, that's crazy.
Do you have any kids?
Not yet.
Not yet. So yeah, at 19, I had my daughter, she's now 13. And I had my son later down the road. He's 6. That was back in 2018 when he was born. But yeah, so that caused a lot of pressure, because I was comfortable, I was partying, and I was just like, oh man, now it's getting real now. Like, I need to make more money, not just for me, but for the family, because I was going to hold myself responsible to that. I wasn't going to be that, deadbeat dad. So I started working. I had 2 jobs. I remember I was working at BJ's from 8 to 4 in the morning. And then at night I would work, so 8 to 4 in the 8 to 4 in the afternoon, and then from 5 to midnight. And I was doing that for like a year or 2. So I was working 2 jobs just to like have our own apartment, living paycheck to paycheck, and take care of the family, which was my girlfriend at the time, and of course my daughter. So, I got stuck in the rat race, as Robert Kiyosaki likes to call it, right? You're like paycheck to paycheck, and you're just kind of stuck there. So I was like, I knew I had to do something else.
What changed?
So what changed? Yeah. So, I was like, I got to get out of this situation. Who can I ask for advice? Like, I needed to find a mentor, right? And then I was thinking like, okay, you know what? I have that one rich uncle, like, that drives a Lexus. He has his house. He has a business. So let me reach out to him. So, I started talking to him, and he likes to go to the casinos. I was like, hey, uncle, let's go to the casino. Let's go hang out, just so I could increase, get close to him.
Yeah. Proximity.
That's the word I was looking for. And then, we went to the casino, and then one night he's like, man, I see you working hard. How about you come learn hearing aid dispensing? And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I mean, a good opportunity. I mean, you're doing good. You must be doing something right.
Yeah.
So I was like, offer accepted. When do I start? He's like, all right, I'll let you know, when you can start. So a few months went by, and I was like, man, this guy hasn't offered me he told me, he was like, I could go work with him and learn hearing aid dispensing, but he hasn't called me. I've asked him a couple times. He's like, just give me a couple more days or this or weeks or whatever. So then, I told him, I'm going to work for you for free. Like, I'm not going to charge you anything. I just want to learn. So I quit my job. I mean, I had a little bit of money saved up. So I was like, I'm just going to quit my job, and I'm going to go learn. But he ended up paying me. So I worked with him. I worked for him for like a month or 2 for free, but then he started paying me.
Maybe he wanted to see like how seriously you were taking it or something. I don't know.
maybe. Yeah, maybe. But like Robert Kiyosaki says, sometimes you got to do stuff for free just so you could get yourself in that environment and
learn before you earn.
Learn the skills to do whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so I started working for him. That was back when I was like 22. Ended up getting my license. And then when I got my license, he's like, business is not doing well. I'm going to have to lay you off.
Rip.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So I'm like, oh, man, I'm back to ground zero. Back to ground zero. So I had like 10 grand saved up, and I was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to go look for a job? I mean, I already have my license. I could get a job, a good paying job like at Costco.
Yeah.
Another hearing aid company. But I was like, you know what? Like, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I hate having a boss. Like, I can't have a boss. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to burn the boats, and I'm going to open my own business. So I had like 10 grand saved up. I found a little location here in Montebello. And I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm going to open. So I went to city council or whatever, where you sign up, you know, get the business permit. And I rented a room that was like a 10 by 12 feet. Something super
like this,
small,
actually.
kind of like this. Yeah, like this studio. And I just had a desk, my chair, and 2 chairs for the patients. And I would do everything in there in the beginning. So I would test them on the same desk, hearing test, consultation, checking them in. Like, I was wearing a bunch of hats right at the beginning. And I was like, man, I don't even trust myself in here. Like, how do these patients trust me? I had my license on the wall. Like, at least they can look at that.
I'm legit.
I got my license. But yeah, people started to trust me, and, you know, started seeing patients. And my office was in a very industrial area, so I didn't have any walk-in traffic. So luckily at my uncle's, I learned kind of what he did. So he used to advertise in this magazine called El Aviso magazine.
Ah, of course, yeah. Very local, well-known. To this
magazine,
day,
right?
El Aviso,
El Aviso's still out.
Yeah.
So I encourage anybody, like, if you want to start a business, you should go work in a company that's already doing what you're already doing, so that you can learn the systems, the processes that they already have, and then you can go out and apply it to yourself, right?
Yeah, and put your own twist on it even.
Yeah.
What do you say we take a little pause here?
Sure.
Take a little water break.
Yeah.
It's important to hydrate people.
Indeed.
This water break is brought to you by Valores Studios. We help establish entrepreneurs and business owners like yourself to put any video assets that you need. Any asset is always good, and especially nowadays. I don't know if you agree with me,
Yes.
Chris. Film it once, have it forever.
Exactly. Yeah, like I was just mentioning, you know, I used to do a lot of print ads, but now I just do pure social media, pure content creation, because just like Levi said, you know, video isn't going anywhere. People are going to always see your profile. They're going to see that track record. They're going to see you've been doing content for a while. It's going to establish your credibility. So 100%, I agree 100%.
There we go. Thank you. You heard it here first. No, I'm just kidding. But all right, man. Let's move on to the sour and sweet stories. Since starting your various businesses, what has been one of the more sour stories that you would like to share with us? Maybe, you know, something came up that you didn't expect.
Yeah.
A certain challenge, which I'm sure you have plenty of those stories. But if you had to choose one really good one, which one would you share?
One that I would share. Let's see. As far as business, right?
It could be personal. It's up to you. You're the guest.
Yeah, let's start. Yeah, let's go with the business. So the business. So actually, not too long ago, maybe like a year or two ago. So I'm leasing an office in Los Angeles right now. I have a 10-year lease. The owner that I did the lease with ended up selling the plaza. So he sold it to a new landlord, and
don't tell me you didn't want to respect the lease.
So, well, that's the thing. They kind of have to respect the lease, right?
Well, that's good. Yeah.
But what they try to do is they try to find loopholes, right? So they wanted to first relocate me from one side of the plaza to the other. And I told them, like, well, it even says on the lease, like, if you want to, they have the right to move you, but they have to provide you with a similar space, same viewable space, Any tenant improvements need to be made, which, I paid a lot of money to build my office there. It's a hearing aid office. So it has like rooms, patient rooms, the lobby, reception, storage, kitchen, and you get it, right? So
everything but the sink.
yeah. So I told them, that's fine. You know what? That's fine. I'll move. So I told them, all right, it's going to cost you $200,000 to build my office in that new look on the other side. So I presented them the bill. I got my contractor, told him, hey, I wanted the same, this, and this, the same. I did all the electrical, did all the AC stuff, did the floor. I built it from the ground up.
Yeah.
It used to be a chic warehouse, so it didn't even have flooring.
Oh, wow.
So I built it from the ground up. I spent like $100,000. That was in 2020. Another interesting story, too, that I decided to open my second location in the middle of the pandemic.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Like, there was hearing aid offices closing down, and I was opening because I was bored. I was like, I have nothing to do. I might as well open the second location.
Yeah.
So during that time, everything was cheaper. Before the pandemic, everything was cheaper.
Makes sense,
Materials, the contracting, cost me $100,000 then. And then now that they want to move me, it's going to be around $200K or even possibly more now to build that office. So I presented them the bill. They didn't even respond. They're just like, they didn't even respond to that. They just what do they call it when they bring you the papers for court?
They served you?
They served me.
Yeah.
They served me. So they, actually they had asked me for permits. So the contractor I hired, supposedly he was legit. He's a licensed contractor. He was supposed to get permits, but in the middle of the pandemic, everything was difficult.
Yeah.
To get those permits, you had to make appointments. Everything was taking forever. So I guess he never did that. So I hired him. I paid him what I had to pay for everything. So he ended up not doing the permits. And I didn't find this out until they actually, the landlord wanted to see the permits. And I was like, yeah, we'll just contact the contractor. So, speeding things up, we didn't have permits. So then they served me because in the contract it says if you don't have permits, they can evict you on the lease.
Dang, that seems like that was the plan all along, huh?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Dang,
so it's crazy.
Shady.
In business, you got to make sure you get your lawyers to read these contracts. Make sure you read it because later down the road, who knows? It might just come back and bite you in the you-know-what. So
dot your T's and cross your I's, right?
So I ended up spending another like 10 to 20 grand coming up to code. Bringing my office up to code because I still had the opportunity to bring it up to code. So we told the court, we're gonna bring it up to code. This was a situation. I had the contractor. He didn't get the permits. We're gonna do it. So we did it. But yeah, it ended up costing 10, 20 grand, with the lawyers, hiring the lawyers, getting another contractor, fixing it. Then we went to court, and then we ended up settling. We had to pay their lawyer fees, back rent, plus the contractors, plus all the building, and it became a nightmare.
It sounds like
it.
Yeah.
So, it was pretty stressful. It caused anxiety and all this stuff. But, so anybody who's like building or if you want to get your own lease in your office, just make sure you read that lease agreement for the amount of time that you want it and all the terms that are on there that you agree with, right?
Yeah.
So that was a big lesson.
Dang.
And till this day, Today. So they actually sent me a letter again.
Oh, gosh.
That they want to relocate me. So that whole situation was only for the permits. They still have the right to relocate me.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to present them now again with the bill. Well, the lawyer's going to take care of it. You need to have a good lawyer on your team. Don't ever talk to nobody.
Talk to my lawyer.
Don't ever talk to nobody without your lawyer. Don't ever agree to anything. Don't sign anything. Don't respond emails. Nothing without counsel. Because you could say something that will get you in trouble and forget it. Pay a lawyer $50 and they'll save you a lot.
Wow.
So you have to get counsel from a good lawyer.
That's some good, very solid advice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to definitely look at some lawyers now.
Yeah. And then you guys have ChatGPT. You can ask it anything, or Google, right? But you got to get straight to the source.
Yeah.
You know, lawyers charge $50. I mean, there's some crazy good ones that might charge you $500, but it's still worth it to get legitimate advice.
There you go.
That's legal.
Exactly.
So
cover all your bases.
Yeah. So this letter, like, I'm not even going to respond. Just go straight to my lawyer, and they respond.
Here, you take care of this.
Yeah.
I got other things to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you get to a certain level, you don't want to deal with those headaches. You just focus on making money, and that money will pay the lawyers to handle your problems.
There you go.
So just focus on the money-making activities is what I like to call it.
Very cool, man. Well, what do you say we flip the coin now?
Sure.
Let's talk about the sweet story.
Sweet story.
So the opposite.
Yeah.
Since starting your journey, starting your businesses or what have you, I mean, I'm sure you got other things going on. What has been like one of the best sweet moments that you've experienced so far?
Mm-hmm. Sweet moments. Let's see. Well, I've had a few good sweet moments, right? You know, it's just every year my business has been pretty much doubling and doubling and doubling. So that's pretty good. Sweet moments. Maybe the most recent sweet moment was figuring out how to delegate certain tasks that I'm just not good at and that can cause stress and anxiety and a lot of problems.
Okay. Well,
so
what are those for you?
So I just hired a personal assistant. Oh. So anything that's just like non-money making activities, I don't even do them anymore. So, you know, I have my mentor, Albert Preciado. So he kind of says, like, you know, divide what your business makes into 2,080 hours, which is like the working hours in a year. Mm. And then let's say, so if you make $1 million divided by that, I think it's like $500 or $1,000 an hour. I'm not good at math. I have a CPA too.
To handle that.
I don't do that. So let's say it's $500 an hour. Like, you shouldn't be checking in, like for my business, I shouldn't be checking in patients. I need to hire administrative staff for that, right? Gotcha. I shouldn't be taking my, even more crazy example, like my dry cleaning to the dry cleaner. It's wasting my time. My time is more valuable seeing patients, you know, testing them, selling them hearing aids, and increasing revenue for the business. Yeah. So delegate is like, it's a lifesaver. I like to say it now. It's a lifesaver. Because if there's something that's stressing you out that you don't like to do, you're not good at, you need to get rid of it, right? In the beginning, maybe new entrepreneurs, you know, you're wearing a lot of hats. And you're gonna have to take care of some of that stuff in the beginning, but hopefully you start generating a lot of revenue to where you start delegating that, like, you know, bookkeeping, taxes. I hate math, numbers. I don't do it. CPA, right? You might have to hire a bookkeeper. It's a little bit more cheaper, but eventually you want to get a CPA. Yeah. That's gonna give you legitimate tax advice, and you can plan strategically your business year, your quarterly year when it comes to business, right? Exactly. No, that's been a very sweet recent discovery. Delegation. I love delegation.
Wonderful, man. Yeah. No, great advice for those starting off.
Yeah.
Even if you are just starting off, I think going back to the resourcefulness over, you know, what resources you have.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, maybe you're married and you have kids, right? And this is not tax advice, but there are ways to pay your kids to do smaller tasks, you know, so that they're getting taken care of.
That's true.
And then you can focus on other things, right? So there's always a way. Or if maybe you're a single dude and you want to start your own business, go look for like another 3-4 dudes that want to do the same thing. Rent, you know, a house, and, you know, that's less rent now that you have to worry about, and you can just focus on building this business that you want to do, right? So there's different ways to go about it.
So many. It just depends on the industry you want to do, right? It's like my sister. She wants to open a juicery. I tell her, well, go work at a juicery first, right? That way you learn where they order their produce, how do they run the front register, how do they make the recipes, what machines they're using, you know.
Absolutely. There you go. All
For
right,
sure.
man. We're gonna almost wrap up this episode. Feel like it's gone by pretty quick.
Yeah.
Second to last question has to do with music. Do you like music?
Music. Oh, I love music, bro.
Okay, then you're gonna love this question. If you had to choose your current life soundtrack right now, with how things are going,
Yeah.
what song would that be?
Current life soundtrack. You know, when I do public speaking now, I always put this song. Not that it's like exactly my current life, right?
Okay.
But I just like, you know, the lyrics and the energy that it brings. So I'm a big fan of corridos tumbados. Have you heard of corridos tumbados?
I am vaguely familiar.
So corridos tumbados, it's not that new, but it's pretty new.
What's the difference between that and a regular corrido?
I think probably the instruments and the way they sing.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nathaniel Cano was the one who started the corridos tumbados. So right now, like my favorite artists would be like Nathaniel Cano, Peso Pluma, and my favorite song that I always just put before I speak, and I even sing it in the beginning. It's called Lady Gaga by Peso Pluma.
Órale.
Órale, yeah. So
Okay.
it's just my theme song. I don't know. I just love it.
What about it? Just gets you pumped
It's
up.
me pumped up.
There you go.
Pumped up, breaks the ice, and it gets everybody excited. Everybody's happy. Everybody's flowing, and it just brings up the energy.
I like
so anything with corridos tumbados, but Lady Gaga, I would say that's like my theme song. I don't know. Maybe not the full lyrics of like my lifestyle, because you know they tend to talk about drugs and stuff, but it's not what I do or like or promote. But
You're like, I like the vibe.
But the vibe is that they do business, right, and they work hard. Maybe they don't do the correct things, but it's still business.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Awesome, dude. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it's really my type of thing, but hey, I'll check it out.
Okay.
Last question of the show.
Sure, brother.
Where can people continue to follow your journey online?
Yeah, guys. So you guys can find me at _Chris Medina. So that's like my personal branding page. And I recommend that everybody does personal branding. So you need to post about your lifestyle, your business, your family, your hobbies, everything in that one page, because that's your personal brand. So
why do you think that's so important, especially nowadays?
Yeah. It gives clarity on what is it that you do, the person that you are. It gives you credibility, gives you exposure. Like we were talking about earlier, social media isn't going anywhere. The videos that you post are going to be there forever, maybe. I don't know, depending on the platforms, right?
Right.
But it shows the track record of the person that you are. So, not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay. But people do business with people they like. So if they see that you're if you're a professional, you have a family, you're very positive, and you display, clarity in your life, I feel like people like that, and they want to support that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people is, at the end of the day, no matter what it is, we buy from either businesses or people that we know, like, and trust.
Correct.
And one of the easiest ways, well, we'll say simple, not always easy, because, time and, as business owners, like, we have a whole bunch of things going on.
Yeah.
But one of the more simpler ways to do that is by just showing up and showing your authentic self, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, so that's also another good nugget for anyone out there who is starting their business or maybe who's been at it for a while. It's crazy to me that there's people out there still, and these are like my ideal clients, where they are complete experts in their field. They've been at it for 10, 20 years.
Yes.
But they don't have an online presence.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, if you had that online presence, like, one, you'd probably grow very quick because you actually have the experience, like, what you're talking about.
Yes.
As opposed to these other people who are maybe a little less knowledgeable because they've been at it for less time than you.
Mm-hmm.
And that in turn would bring in more revenue for your business at the end of the day.
Correct. Yeah. Business owners, you got to educate people on your service. I always make videos about the new hearing aid products. I do hearing aid reviews, education on your hearing health. If that's like if I'm going to be, educating you on my hearing aid business, or if I'm doing mentorship, I give gold nuggets like, like I said right now, start your personal brand, and mentorship advice. So, yeah, everybody should. And, yeah, you guys should link up with Levi because he does it. And you have to have that online presence. It's a must. You're just going to be left, in the dust if you don't.
I absolutely agree, man. Well, thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, no, I really appreciate you for having me on. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming on. And the audience, thank you so much also for spending a little time with us today. Whether you're on the drive to work or at the gym, or I don't know what your life is. I don't know what you do in your life, but thank you for tuning in. If you found any value at all throughout this episode, all we ask is that you please subscribe. It'll help us bring more amazing guests like this onto the show. And, yeah, just keep learning from each other and getting better every day.
That's right, brother.
Nothing left to say, but hope you have a good day.
Take care, guys.